Hey guys, so about a day ago I watched a video by a YouTuber team named Team APS, and they had a video about Konami going too far with the power creep, and I just wanted to read you guys some of my responses to their video. I said that I feel the game's always going to be about the money, and people will continue to pay and play regardless of cost of this insane format. And they talked about synchros in their video, and I mentioned that Thought Ruler and Crimson Blader and Scrapdragon are like some of the best synchros that are left. And as a community, I think we all need to come together and just bring back the fun as an element of this game. I mean, skill is still really relevant, especially if you want to win in this next coming format, but this is like the 20th video I've seen where people have worried about the game state for the future. And I just hate some decks that solitaire their way to victory, and I don't see the fun in Elemental Dragons at all. I mean, the game needs to reclaim its diversity. Combo decks are not fast enough to compete these days, in my opinion. I know. I'd love to be proved wrong, but and if we just look at all the trends, it's really getting about the fastest deck, and Konami's going to keep releasing faster and faster cards until the current decks will be yesterday's news, and that concept just scares me a little, where if Prophecy, Mermail, and Fire Fist and Elemental Dragons aren't fast enough, like what are they going to do that's faster than that? And yeah, I really think Royal Oppression needs to come back just to help balance out some of the stuff. And some people are like, oh, well, what if people just go off and then play Oppression after they're done, and then you're just done? Well, MST, Heavy Storm, Dust Tornado, those are all cards. Breaker, Lila, there's plenty of outs to Royal Oppression. I mean, we can't just complain that it's too broken a card when there are outs. I mean, I guess the same could be said for Spellbooks and Elemental Dragons, but they're just a little too fast. Oppression's a slow enough card, and you have to pay life points, and there's ways to kill it off before they can do any damage with it. I just think it's needed to keep back the balance. And on that same note, Crush Card Virus should be considered. I know it's also extremely broken, and it might make Inzectors top tier, or even any deck that's just playing Double Tour Guide, but still, Crush Card may need to come back. I mean, the literal power creep almost justifies the return, because Decree and Trap Stun, and again, yeah, well, Jinzo to some extent, those all exist. And by the same logic, I'm thinking Imperial Order might want to see a return just to hold Prophecy at bay, because they're getting their Judgment Day, and they just have all that speed. It's probably the fastest deck of the format. And at the same time, Imperial Order would end up hurting Gold Sarks and Super Rejuves and the 7-sword star, whatever it's called, that draws 2 cards, banishing level 7. And I think that would help hold off Elemental Dragons to a tiny, tiny extent. And I'm just noticing one of our only options left is to find a way to slow the current format down, and if we can't all keep up, we may as well bring the other decks to a slower pace. And lastly, I just wanted to say that Book of Moon, I think, is one of the most balanced cards ever made, and it should just come back to 3. Because really, if decks are as fast as they are right now, what's it going to do if it's at 3? I mean, yeah. So screen turned off. So I just think it's one of the more fun, fair cards that we could be using, and Konami really should bump it back up to 3. And if you guys have any thoughts as to what would happen if they did put it at 3, and what might be problems, then let me know in the comments. And also, Flying Sea is coming out, so that could help us a little bit, as long as the Elemental Dragon players don't open with a tuner. Should buy us a turn or two. But, yeah. So I just wanted to make this video as a response to Team APS's video, and I'm going to go add this as a video response to their video as well. I'll include a link to their original video in my description box down below. And yeah, that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you later.